Hi learners, welcome to Joesin YouTube channel. Ada pertanyaan menarik. Apa sih itu passive voice? Ada yang tahu nggak? Apa sih itu passive voice? Jadi passive voice itu grammar dasar yang wajib diketahui bagi para pembelajar bahasa Inggris. Karena pada dasarnya passive voice ini sering digunakan dalam kegiatan sehari-hari, baik speaking maupun writing. Passive voice secara sederhana yaitu bentuk kalimat yang kata kerjanya mengandung arti awalan di atau ter. Contoh membantu. Membantu adalah kalimat aktif. Sedangkan dibantu merupakan bentuk kalimat pasifnya. Nah, itu yang disebut dengan passive voice. Untuk lebih jelasnya, mari kita lihat salah satu postingan Dian Sastro dalam feedgramnya. Di dalam captionnya, Dian menulis kalimat "These paintings are made by kimono threads." Frase "are made" yang Joesin garis bawah ini ya, mengandung arti di, yaitu dibuat. Lukisan-lukisan ini dibuat oleh kimono threads. Lalu bagaimana caranya membentuk kalimat passive voice? Untuk membuat kalimat passive voice, learners hanya perlu satu, ingat rumus aja. Satu rumus aja. Enak bukan? Nah, rumusnya adalah subject, to be, and verb 3. Ya, bolehlah tambahkan by and object apabila kalimatnya ingin sempurna. For example, YouTube was established in 2005. YouTube didirikan pada tahun 2005. So, dalam kalimat ini yang Joesin garis bawahi was established, was adalah auxiliary verb be dan established adalah verb 3 yang berasal dari establish yang artinya mendirikan. Ada auxiliary verb be dan verb 3 yang menunjukkan arti pasif, yakni didirikan. Masih ingat ya bahwa was adalah auxiliary verb be yang menunjukkan waktu lampau. Arti dari kalimat tersebut yaitu YouTube didirikan pada tahun 2005. Jadi didirikannya di waktu yang lampau. So, it uses was. These paintings are made by kimono threads. Lukisan-lukisan ini dibuat oleh kimono threads. Coba perhatikan kata-kata yang Joesin garis bawahi. Ada are dan made. Are merupakan auxiliary verb be dan made merupakan verb 3 yang berasal dari kata make atau membuat. Karena ada auxiliary verb be dan verb 3, maka artinya jadi pasif, yakni dibuat. Gampang bukan? Nah, bagaimana dengan kata by dalam kalimat tersebut? Joesin ingatkan sekali lagi ya, bahwa by digunakan apabila kalimatnya sempurna, boleh juga tidak digunakan apabila dalam suatu kalimat pelakunya nggak terlalu penting untuk disebutkan. For example, YouTube was founded in 2005. So, YouTube didirikan pada tahun 2005. Kalimat passive voice disusun dengan mengikuti pola 16 tenses, model, dan gerund. Mari kita lihat. Yang pertama, passive voice pada 16 tenses. Simple present tense. Untuk kalimat aktifnya, subject, verb 1. You can add additional s, es, or I, E, dan S. Lalu object. Untuk passive voice-nya, subject, to be, ismr, and verb 3, dan by object. Example, active voice, General Election Commission announced the result. Passive voice-nya, the result is announced by General Election Commission. Present continuous tense. Untuk kalimat aktifnya adalah subject, To be is MR, then verb ing, followed by object. For passive voice, subject. To be is MR, being, plus verb 3, then by, followed by object. For example, General Election Commission is announced the result. So the result is being announced by General Election Commission. Number 3, present perfect tense. Untuk kalimat aktifnya, subject, have or has as the auxiliary verb, and then verb 3, then object. Passive voice, subject, have or has, then been, then verb 3, followed by object. Example, active voice. General Election Commission has announced the result. Passive voice-nya, the result has been announced by General Election Commission. Number 4, present perfect continuous tense. For active voice, subject, have or has, then been, then verb ing, then object. For passive voice, we can write down subject, has or have, been, then being, then verb 3, then by, and object. For example, active voice. General Election Commission has been announcing the result. Passive voice. The result has been being announced by General Election Commission. Number 5, simple past tense. For active voice, we can write down subject, verb 2, and object. For passive voice, subject, to be, was or were, verb 3, then by, and object. For example, active voice. General Election Commission announced the result. For passive one, the result was announced by General Election Commission. Number 6, past continuous tense. For active voice, we can write down subject, to be with or were, then verb ing, then object. For passive one, subject, was or were, then being, then verb 3, then by, and object. For example, the active voice. General Election Commission was announcing the result. For passive one, the result was being announced by General Election Commission. Number 7, past perfect tense. For active voice, subject, had, verb 3, then object. For passive one, subject, had, been, verb 3, by, and object. For example, active voice. General Election Commission had announced the result. Passive voice. The result had been announced by General Election Commission. Number 8, past perfect continuous tense. For active voice, subject, had, been, verb ing, and object. But for passive one, we can write down subject, had, been, being, verb 3, then by, then object. For example, the active one. General Election Commission had been announcing the result. For the passive one, the result had been being announced by General Election Commission. Number 9, simple future tense. For active voice, we can write down subject, then modal auxiliary will, followed by verb 1, then object. For passive voice, subject, will, to be, verb 3, and then by, followed object. For example, active voice. General Election Commission will announce the result. And passive voice. The result will be announced by General Election Commission. Number 10, future continuous tense. For active voice, we can say subject, will, and then be, verb ing, and object. For passive voice, subject, will, be, being, verb 3, by, and object. For example, active, General Election Commission will be announcing the result. So for passive one, the result will be being announced by General Election Commission. Number 11, future perfect tense. For active one, we can say subject, will, have, verb 3, and object. Passive one, subject, will, have been, verb 3, by, and object. For example, active, General Election Commission will have announced the result. And then for the passive one, the result will have been announced by General Election Commission. Number 12, future perfect continuous tense. For active one, we can write down subject, will, have, been, verb ing, and object. And for the passive one, subject, will, have been, being, verb 3, by, and object. For example, the active, General Election Commission will have been announcing the result. And then the result will have been being announced by General Election Commission for the passive one. Number 13, simple past future tense. For the active one, we can say subject, would, verb 1, and object. For the passive one, subject, would, be, verb 3, and then by, followed object. For example, General Election Commission would announce the result. For the passive one, the result would be announced by General Election Commission. Number 14, past future continuous tense. For the active one, subject, would, be, verb ing, and object. For the passive one, subject, would, be, being, verb 3, by, and object. For example, General Election Commission would be announcing the result. For the passive one, the result would be being announced by General Election Commission. Number 15, past future perfect tense. For the active one, we can write down subject, would, have, verb 3, and object. For the passive one, subject, would, have, been, verb 3, by, and object. For example, General Election Commission would have announced the result. And then for the passive one, the result would have been announced by General Election Commission. Number 16, past future perfect continuous tense. For the active pattern, we can write down subject, would, have, been, verb ing, and object. For the passive one, subject, would, have, been, being, verb 3, by, and object. For example, General Election Commission would have been announcing the result. And for the passive one, the result would have been being announced by General Election Commission. Nomor 2, passive voice pada model auxiliary. Masih ingat ya model yang juga pernah Joesin kasih dulu? Ya kan? Seperti will, can, must, shall, should, may, dan lain sebagainya. Nah, kalau kalimat pasifnya pakai modal, maka learners tinggal tambahkan kata be sebelum verb 3-nya. Ingat, modelnya tidak berubah, tetap saja pakai modal yang sama. Hati-hati juga ya, be yang dipakai di sini bukan am, or, is, was, were, no, tapi benar-benar kata be. Joesin kasih rumusnya, subject, model, be, verb 3, by, and object, apabila kalimatnya ingin sempurna. For example, the active voice, subject, model, verb 1, and object, and then passive one, subject, model, be, verb 3, by, and object. For example, active, Jack can receive the religious holiday allowance. For the passive one, the religious holiday allowance can be received by Jack. Contoh lainnya, kalimat aktif. Johnny must give the religious holiday allowance. For the passive one, the religious holiday allowance must be given by Johnny. Nomor 3, passive voice pada gerund. Bentuk pasif pada gerund dapat berfungsi sebagai subjek, objek, maupun object of preposition dalam suatu kalimat. Berikut rumus dari contoh bentuk pasif pada gerund, being, and then verb 3. For example, being accompanied by him is the best moment. Hai buat kamu yang sedang belajar di bangku SMA dan ingin melanjutkan ke perguruan tinggi. Ada satu aplikasi yang bisa kalian coba download dan belajar di sana secara gratis, offline maupun online. Ada Unacademy, aplikasi learning apps yang akan membantu kamu dalam menyelesaikan masalah pemahaman mata pelajaran di sekolah. Kamu bisa mempersiapkannya untuk UTS, untuk ujian semester, ada untuk ujian nasional, bahkan juga untuk SBMPTN, fokus di sana. Nah, di sana akan ada educator-educator yang akan siap membantu kamu dalam menyelesaikan masalah pelajaran. Jadi, kamu akses sekarang juga aplikasi ini kalau kamu ingin nilai kamu lebih baik lagi. Oke? Daripada bimbel bayar, mending download Unacademy sekarang juga. Sudah siap download Unacademy? Atau mungkin kamu udah download? Bagus, maka linknya akan aku kasih di bawah deskripsi. Oke, selamat belajar. Sukses ya buat kalian semua. Bahasa Inggrisnya juga sukses, sekolahnya juga sukses, masa depan kalian juga sukses.